Hello everybody, I'm Toyah.
And I'm Robert, and we're...
This is our upbeat moment.
Yes,
Sorry.
we're so keen to say our upbeat moments to our chums out there for this week.
We got our Christmas tree behind us.
Oh,
Confession time. It went up at the end of September.
why was that, little lovey?
Because I wanted us to come home to Christmas after every gig.
After our wonderful tour. And look, my first upbeat moment of this week is our wonderful completion gig at the Birmingham Town Hall last Sunday. Now, why Birmingham Town Hall? Well, Birmingham Town Hall is a wonderful classic gig and a particular kicker for the fabulous audience and show on Sunday. 50 years and one day before, King Crimson had played in the Birmingham Town Hall. Bill Bruford, John Wetton, David Cross and myself rocking out at the Birmingham Town Hall. And there were Toyah and Robert 50 years and one day later doing the same.
And it was 1 year and 4 months since I played there.
Wow. It is a venue, isn't it?
I loved it. It was perfect. The sound was fantastic. The audience were amazing. People had flown in from all over the world.
Yes. And one thing I learned in my early years as a touring player was, because in the South, audiences, my sense of audiences in the South was they went out to have a bad time. They had a good time if they were having a bad time. London, always very critical.
Oh, come on. On this tour, Toyah and Robert, our audiences have been universally joyous and brilliant.
I am going back to 1969, where life as a working musician was pretty rough.
Okay.
And my rule of thumb, my heuristic on the touring life was audiences beginning in Birmingham and moving north went out to have a good time and were very, very upbeat as an audience. The South tended to be more downbeat. There we are.
I disagree with Robert on that one, but it could be we both do different kinds of music.
And it's because you're a Brummie girl. You come from Birmingham.
Yeah, but I have a good time in the South as well. Anyway, one of my upbeat moments is this dress. Now, I last wore this dress, and it is a Diane von Furstenberg. Excuse me for my bad pronunciation. Do you know where we got this dress?
Remind me.
Seattle. Nordstrom Rack.
Nordstrom Rack, visiting Mr. Bill and Frankie.
Now, Nordstrom Rack is a discount shop in Seattle, all over the United States. It's the only place I can afford Diane von Furstenberg.
Berg, dear, but that's fine.
So that's my upbeat moment. I haven't worn it since about 2016.
It's stunning, lovey.
I love it. It's silk.
And you were also a girl in pearls now.
Girl in pearls. Now, I have one more upbeat moment, but do you have another thing?
Yes, I do have an upbeat moment. And just as a little aside, an upbeat moment I'm not bringing up particularly was seeing you in your catsuit.
On Loose Women.
Halloween on Loose Witches edition. But they're just a little en passant. Yes, I received news this past Sunday, and it went live news on this Monday, that my appearance as a guest on Live at Daryl's House in Pawling, New York State, is going live on November the 15th. Now, this is something, it was filmed last October the 8th. And for me I have a very long, deep relationship with Daryl Hall. I produced Daryl's first solo album, Sacred Songs, in 1978, released in 1980. And that's another story. Daryl contributed to Exposure, my first solo album. Daryl is a pal. And I was so over the moon as a guest on Daryl's House.
Good.
I haven't been allowed to talk about it for a year.
Oh, okay.
And now it's gone live. So look, rocking out Robert as a guest on Daryl's House on November the 15th.
And you know, on the 1st of December, our version of Relax with Trevor Horn is being released.
Oh,
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's a different kind of image to hold in mind, dear.
It's now one of the reasons I'm wearing pearls is last night we watched the movie Pearl with Maya Goth, and it was a Thai West movie. I think it's one of the most important feminist movies to come out in this millennium. It's just breathtaking. I've been thinking about it a lot all night. And if you haven't seen it, it is a slasher movie, but it's so clever. And the last shot of Maya just smiling, I felt like that all year. But kind of, keep smiling. When certain pressures and strains and things were being put on us, just keep smiling. But it works. Now, my last upbeat moment is about patterns. Now, often people will say to you that we're programmed as human beings to see patterns. Of course we're programmed to see patterns. It's how we survive. But also there are such a varying degree of patterns. Patterns guide you. And don't be dismissive of seeing patterns in things, i.e. you've lost someone, you see a white feather, i.e. your lucky number keeps coming up. These patterns still guide you. Now, I have been relatively distracted for the whole year, just dealing with a hell of a lot of bureaucracy over a tour. And that's not a complaint, but I'm an artist. And I've missed a really important pattern. So we had a day off about a month ago, and I found this in a junk shop. It happens to be apple jade. It is a Aztec Mazatel, which means it's a deer. Now, when you look up what deer means in that culture, apart from protecting the hunter and remaining the hunter, it means joy, grace, and be helpful. I then found a gold chain in the house and had a jeweler attach it. This is my mother's gold chain. I'd forgotten. I bought it for her in 1998 when I was in Worthing, appearing at the theatre in Worthing in with a play with the actor Joe McGann. I think it was the Live Bed Show. And we found this broken in a box after my mother passed away. So there's a pattern there. This has just brought me so much joy in the last month. But then 20 years ago, a designer friend of ours called Helen David of English Eccentrics gave me a bag for my birthday. Now, I just put things on display. I'm very like you. What I never saw on the bag was the deer. I only saw the mushrooms. And this week I picked it up and I didn't see the mushrooms. I saw the deer. So that's a pattern, and it's a pattern that's given me a lot of strength because I believe this is an incredibly powerful thing. It's pre-Columbian and it means joy, grace, and be helpful, which, believe me, I've not been feeling like recently. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It makes complete sense.
So patterns are very, very powerful. And for me, that is a major upbeat moment.
Yeah.
So everybody, have a wonderful Saturday evening. We'll see you tomorrow for a trip down memory lane for Sunday lunch.
Yay from Robert.